All right, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's having a good morning. It is early. I'm headed to work. And I saw this before I went to bed last night. Russell Wilson signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So a couple of dominoes fell over the weekend. Baker Mayfield, people were talking about Baker Mayfield possibly signing with the Falcons. He gets a 3-year, $100 million contract. Kind of got the Geno Smith treatment. You also had, like I said, Russell Wilson going to Pittsburgh. So where did that leave the Falcons? Well, on my upcoming podcast later on today, later on this morning, in a few hours, I got a podcast coming out talking about Kirk Cousins possibly coming to the Falcons. I still think that's a possibility. I'm leaning like 80-20. And we'll see how that goes, because it looks like there's not much of all the pickings are getting slim now, because all these other teams are pretty much going at quarterbacks. The Patriots also traded Mac Jones, so that tells you that they're going for a quarterback in the draft. And so the Falcons, what are we going to do? If we miss out on Kirk Cousins, it's going to be really, really rough at that point, because now you're probably looking at a Gardner Minshew. You're probably looking at, Gardner Minshew is basically Taylor Heineke. You're probably looking at a couple of other guys that's not going to be, the guy that, in my opinion, that will take us to a playoff berth. So it has to be Kirk Cousins, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like that's the best possibility. I mean, do he re-signs with the Vikings? I don't know. But the Falcons need to do something. And another thing is, like, with all these early tampering, legal tampering, whatever you want to call it, all these reports coming out, like with these, the Baker Mayfields and the Russell Wilsons, I'm really surprised the Falcons haven't made that announcement if they are going after Kirk Cousins. They could have made an announcement just like everybody else did, or it could have came out just like all these other reports. So that 20% is kind of is like peeking over my shoulder about Kirk Cousins. I'm like, are they going to get him? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just seems ideal, but I just don't know. At this point, I would like for Kirk Cousins to come here. I mean, I think that's the, best case scenario, even though the injury is an issue, the money is somewhat of an issue, but what else you got at this point? I mean, you really want to go for Justin Fields? I mean, I looked at a stat sheet not too long ago where Justin Fields basically like Marcus Mariota on the stat line. But I mean, is it because of the Chicago situation? He didn't have the best of weapons. He didn't have the best of coaching. I don't know. It's just, I mean, a lot of us don't know. We all put our GM hats on. We all sit here and think that we know what's going on. I kind of like try to stay even keeled. I know what the players brought to the table, and I try to implement it to, what they can do if they're on this team. I don't have a necessarily bias when it comes to a particular player. I just think that if anything that I'm concrete on, if we could, I would like to move up and get a Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. I'm all in on that, but I think that I think the Patriots basically shot that out the water, because they traded Mac Jones. I'm almost certain they're going for a quarterback now. So, as far as moving up to 3, or 2 or 1, I don't know. It looks like all three situations are going to go for a quarterback. So we're looking at a situation now like, what are we going to do? The second thing that I'm probably standing pat on as far as the draft is possibly getting a Michael Penix, or trading back, and you can still probably get Michael Penix. I don't know. It's all over the place at this point. Especially after the two dominoes fall, and you didn't hear any reports like all the other teams. do we get Kirk Cousins at this point? Do we hear that in the morning, later on this morning that they get Kirk Cousins? I don't know. Like I said, I got a podcast episode coming out about it. I guess we'll talk about it then. But things are getting a little bit tight, to be honest. Russell Wilson's gone. The Patriots probably going to go for a quarterback. Chicago's probably going to go for a quarterback. The Commanders, I don't see them sticking with Sam Howell. So that's the first 3 picks. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Do they go for a quarterback? I don't think so. So one of these second-tier quarterbacks may fall to us. Drake may. Jaden Daniels maybe. I'm not sure. But we'll see. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out today. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.